Hey guys, this is Mike. I'm back again to share some breeding with you. Oh, it's fortunately for you, I'm talking about simulated horse breeding. Get your mind out of the gutter. But before I started, I wanted to cover something real quick. I see a lot of good questions on the message board and very good, as far as future additions to the game. The initial release won't have some of these things. I saw earlier about disassociating a stable from your master stable, or can you get rid of mares, just kind of get them out of your past, get them so you don't see them anymore. Yeah, again, great ideas. And the good news is going forward, and this is kind of what I've been moving forward with this entire rewrite, is things like that are actually relatively easy to add going forward. They were hard to add in the past. People who are kind of data nerds like I am, I suppose, would tell you that when you're using text files, you're really strangled out as to how robust you can write something. And the original game was written using text files. The new one is written using SQL. I've spent quite a bit of time getting it ready to go, or actually sharp, hopefully. But I guess maybe it's going to be ready to go coming out of the chute. There's a lot I still want to add, but the primary goal of the first launch is to get all the data over correctly, and not only to get all the data over correctly, but everything that is vital to the day-to-day activity of the game's there, such as claiming, auctions, entering races, breeding, things. And I know this hopefully won't get too many people's hornet's nest kicked up, but what I'm going to try to do is, I know things like the Black Type Bugler, which is fabulous. I may not have the interfaces written out of the chute for that, so some of the Black Type Bugler riders might have to use the old interface. I'll make that as easy as possible. I know right now you have, messages that pop up from horses about Black Type Bugler articles. That's probably not going to be in the first version. Residencies, it may be a little tricky for me to write residencies in initially. I'm going to do what I can, but again, you have to really understand, and it's not so much that I'm getting, I've been working on it for a while, so I want to get it out the chute, but it really has to do with the drop dead date of 1 million races. If I don't get this out by 1 million races, it becomes very non-trivial to go forward, so I need to get this out. The old game may not work after 1 million races, so this game has got to be there for the 1,000,000th race. So I hope you understand that. Anyway, I've talked enough about that, but I do want to get to the breeding section, okay? Because that's where a lot of people have the most questions, and you should. It's one of the more fun aspects of the game, and the current methodology, not superb. The ClickFest, obviously, we have, as well as you have to have all 3 breedings lined up at the same time. Good news is now you don't have to do any of that. What we have here is the ability to get sire shares, instead of previously where we had we would have to grab all 3 at the same time. We can grab a dam share, or actually not dam share, a sire share, a dam sire share, and a dam's dam sire share to do a scratch breeding. To do a breeding to a mare, you would just grab a sire share and hook it up with your current mare or CPU mare. So I'm going to go and show you how you can do a little bit of that. First off, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and get a sire share. Show you how easy this is. Okay, let's find sires. I will tell you that, again, this is just a matter of I'm running out of time. These are things I want to add but may not have added out the chute. But this is how you would find a sire, for instance. Let's look up, I know Pucholingui is one of the most famous sires in the game. Let's look up Pucholingui. I'm going to start with Pucci, hit update list. I hit find sires, hit update list, and there's Pucholingui. He's eligible as a sire, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old sire. We can see that here. He's also eligible as a dam sire, or even a dam's dam sire, so that's good. A few more things to note on how this is working. For starters, the dam sire, or the sire and the dam sire shares are hooked together just like they are now, and there's a reason for that. Because, they cost generally the same as far as currently. If you had a share, if you bought a share of a sire, it would be 100% of the current cost for a sire or dam sire, where it's 50% for the dam's dam sire. What I've actually done is I've just split these two apart. So now shares for dam sires and sires are hooked together. A dam's dam sire share is separate. As far as the cost, they're all separate, in the breeding aspect. Another thing to notice is you're going to see that actually the credit cost and the breeding point cost are different. So if a sire is popular with the credit buyers and not so much so with the breeding point buyers, the breeding point value would go down, comparatively speaking. So when you see, the ability to buy sires, you're actually split now between, where currently it'd be like maybe 250 points or credits. Well, you might see 250 cost for the credits or 125 for breeding points, 112. We just don't know. They're going to move on different schedules. The other thing to notice the other thing to note is that similar to now, the cost is going to go up and down. But pretty much what it does is immediately after being purchased, it'll shoot up and then start to drop again. The good news with that is that as it comes down, you can grab it. It'll go down to a minimum cost. When someone buys a credit share particularly, almost always, now this isn't true for the less popular sires, but for the most popular sires, it's going to kind of put them on the shelf for several days, about I believe it's 5.5, 6.5 days, where it's going to put it on the shelf and no one can purchase it using credits for at least 5.5, 6.5 days. That's, to keep from, to keep the game from getting diluted with too many credit breedings. Breeding points are a little bit different now. You can actually always breed a horse or always grab a sire share, dam sire share using breeding points. But similarly, it spikes up. So when someone purchases one, the cost will jump and then it'll start dropping. Well, if someone gets it, it'll jump pretty high. You might see occasionally where the breeding point is at 1,000 points. I wouldn't advise, points are hard to come by. I wouldn't advise you getting those at 1,000 points unless they're always going for 1,000. But over time, they're going to drop. I can tell you now, generally speaking, you don't see breeding point shares go for 1,000 points. They usually wait until they hit 500. And unlike now where you have an immediate drop down to 500, you see it slowly climb down from 1,000 to 500 to whatever the bottom line is for that sire. So you can grab it anywhere in between. Instead of 500, you may be willing to pay 520 breeding points for it. You can get it at 520. The cost for the credit cost is the same way. It's going to drop down. And I'll show you another cool thing about bidding, which is going to get rid of the click bank. Or not the click bank, that's old school. We'll get rid of the click fest. But for starters, let's go ahead. I've kind of been talking in circles, and hopefully you're taking notes, and I realize all this can be overwhelming and confusing, but at least wanted to try to explain it as best as I could. It's hard enough to explain it talking, much less on paper, so I just figure I'll show you how all this works. That's kind of the precursor to how this works. But let's just go get a sire share for Poochland Gouye, okay? We click on him, and it pops up some information. It's going to give you his pedigree over here. It's also going to give you his recent rankings and how he's done recently as a sire, as well as his overall sire ability and his dam sire ability. These are just the most recent rankings. He apparently didn't breed anything in the sim in 2007, 2008, or 2009, but he's making a comeback. Look at that. He's had 41 offspring in the sim, 12 winners, 29.3 percentage. And he's rated overall as the 2,171st best sire in the game and the 2,310th best dam sire in the game. These numbers get updated every night. And what you're going to notice is even some of the better dam sires in the game are poorly rated sires. That doesn't mean, when I say rated, I guess that's the wrong word. They're poorly ranked. And the only reason you're going to see some of the old ones, a great example would probably be Secretariat, there's a lot of Secretariat dam sires running around in the game. I'm going to guess, I'll type him in, let's see what happens, Secretariat. I'm going to guess there's not a whole lot of horses he's sired in the game, so let's see. Actually, he's only a dam sire in the game. He's never had a horse. I'm trying to think of a horse that may have had Mr. Prospector. There's another one, because he was around in the game for a while, but not super long. So let's look up Mr. Prospector. Okay, see, he's the 23rd sire, but he's the third-ranked dam sire. This isn't even a good example, but it's the best one I can come up with off the top of my head. But the reason is not because he's any worse a sire than he is a dam sire. It's simply because he just doesn't have as many horses that he's sired in the game because of age. So you're going to see that, sporadically. Don't assume that the sire just stinks. You know what? I bet you Nijinsky. Let's see if Nijinsky's in here. Nijinsky 2. He might have had a couple of horses. He may be the one I'm thinking of. No, he's only been a dam. Oh, there he is. Look, perfect. He only had 130, or let me see. He only had 7 runners in the entire game, and not because, you know, he stinks. He only had a 14.3 winning percentage, but it's only because he had such a small offspring amount. And honestly, those were all computer horses when the game first started back in the late 90s. So the computer was just putting together breedings, and who the heck knows. So you can see he's rated 9,810th as a sire, but he's the best AM sire in the game. There you go. So, you know, use your common sense when comparing these. Obviously, a horse that's not been around as long, a great example would probably be, and again, I'm just spitballing here, Bernardini. Let's see. Bernardini, if we look at his rankings, 290th ranked dam sire, it's still not horrible, but the 36th ranked sire, these numbers are going to continue. That number is going to go up. 36 will go up probably over time. The 290 is going to go up as he has more dam sires, horses dam sired. So let me see. I'm 11 minutes in just explaining. I haven't even bred a share yet, but I think this is all important information to kind of gather. Eventually, and again, this is a nice addition that I plan on adding, and I apologize, it probably won't be in the initial release. As you can see over here for a horse, you can see their best offspring, at least, you know, the ones that you know, we've had, you know, as far as you know, we rate them the highest based on grade winnings and how much money earned. There's some other stuff involved, but you know, generally speaking, these are his best offspring. But as far as looking at the seasons like we can now, eventually, and probably not long after release, I'm going to have it where we can click 2013, 2012, and you can see the best of the season. I don't have that yet, and I apologize. It's just going to take time. Bernardini, as you can see, he's not available for credits. And that's at least, well, you can't get him as a, and actually, yeah, his breeding points, you can give him 224 points, but you cannot buy him on credits right now. And if you click on him, it's going to tell you about when he's going to be released and available for credits. It'll be a couple days. But the one thing to notice too is that, or at least to note, is that I'm going to show you how to bid on horses here shortly as well. And you can bid on horses that aren't open, and when they open, you don't have to be around. We'll go ahead. I'm going to wrap up this video simply because I really haven't shown you a lot, but I think this is important as far as, you know, first go around and to kind of explain how, or at least what things are changing. It really is. I do realize it's somewhat, it's a huge change, but once you get the hang of this, and I think, you know, if you didn't understand much about this video, don't get too flustered. I really believe that the next video is going to kind of bring everything together and show you how these shares work and show you how all these breeding point and credit cost and how all they tie together. So I apologize if this video seems like it was a waste of time. I don't think it was. Again, I think it's good to, you know, but heck, you know, your mileage may vary. Anyway, I'll let you go, and I'm going to work on another video shortly. Thanks for watching this one, and next video, we are going to start breeding horses. See ya.